Have you ever heard a story so tragic, so twisted, that it stays with you forever? Today, we're re-diving into one of the most powerful stories ever told. The Curse of Oedipus and his family, straight from ancient Greece. This isn't just one story. It's an epic trilogy that explores fate, pride, and the catastrophic consequences of defying the gods. So, grab a seat, because we're heading to the ancient city of Thebes. Our story begins with Oedipus Rex. Thebes is ravaged by a plague, and its desperate king Oedipus vows to find the cause. A prophecy is revealed. The plague will only end when the murderer of the former king Laius is brought to justice. Oedipus, a determined and righteous ruler, launches a full-scale investigation. He questions everyone, piecing together clues with an iron will. But the more he uncovers, the more the horrifying truth points directly at him. See, years ago, Oedipus was told a prophecy that he would kill his father and marry his mother. To escape this dreadful fate, he fled his home. On his journey, he got into a roadside argument and killed a man who, he later discovers, was his real father, King Laius. He then arrived in Thebes, solved the riddle of the Sphinx, and was hailed as a hero. His reward, marrying the widowed queen, Jocasta, his own mother. When the full truth comes crashing down, Jocasta hangs herself. In a fit of despair, Oedipus takes the pins from her dress and blinds himself, screaming that he can no longer bear to see the world he has created. He is then exiled from Thebes, a broken man. This brings us to the second play, Oedipus at Colonus. Years have passed. A blind, elderly Oedipus, guided by his devoted daughter Antigone, wanders Greece as an outcast. He's no longer the proud king, but a humbled man seeking peace. They arrive at Colonus, a sacred grove near Athens. Another prophecy emerges. The land where Oedipus is buried will receive a great blessing. Suddenly, the man who was once exiled is now a valuable prize. His sons, who are fighting for control of Thebes, and his brother-in-law Creon, all try to manipulate him to bring him back to their side for their own selfish gain. But Oedipus rejects them all. He has found a sense of peace and divine purpose. In a mysterious and powerful climax, he is called by the gods and vanishes into the sacred grove, finding redemption not in power, but in acceptance of his fate. But the family curse doesn't end with him. The final chapter, Antigone, is where the tragedy reaches its heartbreaking conclusion. Oedipus' two sons, Eteocles and Polynices, have killed each other in battle for the throne of Thebes. The new king, Creon, declares Eteocles a hero to be buried with honor, but brands Polynices a traitor, ordering his body to be left unburied for the vultures. This is a profound insult in ancient Greek culture. Their sister, Antigone, is now faced with an impossible choice: obey the law of the state, or obeyed the law of the gods and her conscience, which demand a proper burial for her brother. Fueled by love and a fierce sense of justice, she defies Creon's decree and secretly buries Polynices. She is caught and brought before the furious king. Antigone doesn't deny her actions. She argues that the laws of the gods are higher than the laws of men. Enraged by her defiance, Creon sentences her to be sealed alive in a tomb. It's only when the prophet Tiresias warns him that the gods are angry and that his own family will suffer that Creon finally relents. But it's too late. He rushes to free Antigone, only to find she has already taken her own life. This triggers a chain reaction of grief. Creon's son, who was engaged to Antigone, kills himself, and then his wife, the queen, does the same. Creon is left utterly alone, a king with no one left to rule, crushed by his own pride. From a king's fatal quest for truth to a blind exile's search for peace and a young woman's brave defiance, the Theban Trilogy is a timeless masterpiece. It forces us to ask ourselves, are we masters of our own destiny, or are we just pawns in a divine game? But what is more important, the law of the land or our moral compass? These are questions the ancient Greeks wrestled with, and they still resonate with us today. Thanks for joining me on this journey through one of literature's greatest tragedies. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into classic stories. See you next time.